Yo, what's up guys? You got pokeaim here with the Farewell Mega Metagross Showdown Live. We're playing in Ubers tier, or we're playing in Ubers tier. We're playing in the Ubers tier this time today. My boy Amazing Mo passed me the team, and it's pretty interesting. I'll give it that. So we have a Druddigon there, which I'm like looking at it, I'm like, isn't Zygarde just a little bit better at doing this? Or a lot better, but it still looks fun though. I can't wait to glare something and piss them off. But we have 4 attacks, Mega Metagross. Meteor Mash, then Headbutt, Rock Slide, and Bullet Punch. Rock Slide is there for Ho-Oh. We have defensive Groudon with Stealth Rock, a Magic-Co Arceus Fairy. Might change it to Toxic, might not, depending on matchups. We have that defensive Druddigon with Mold Breaker. And then we have a Jet Button Amoonguss. I believe that's basically to be able to pivot in on Kyogre once, and then get in something like Groudon, or get in something like depending on what it is. Maybe like on Xerneas you pivot in once and you get in like Metagross. And then we have a Darkinium Z, or Darkinium Z, at Veltal. So, fun team. Mega Metagross, this mon broken. This mon always been good, I feel like. I just think that the fact that Ultra Sun and Moon, or Sun and Moon rather, 7th generation, came with the auto speed buff to Megas made this mon that much easier. Like before you could check it when, let's take example, wow, can I like speak in complete sentences? Let's take for example Generation 6, where if a Metagross wants to come in on Latios, it typically had to take a Draco, right? And then maybe even another Draco after before Mega Evolving and trying to go for Pursuit or Ice Punching or Meteor Mashing or anything like that. Now, in this game, I kind of regret not having the Earthquake on this Pokemon, and I think it's necessary. I actually think it's necessary, so I'm gonna put Earthquake on it over Zen Headbutt. Yeah, my best option of hitting like a Kyogre or an Arceus Water isn't there, but I have options for that as well. So definitely think it's necessary. Arceus Fairy is gonna be really good for you. I'm very weak to you. Like I'm incredibly weak to you. I like Darkinium Z of Veltal though. It gives me a lot early on, and if the dude leads off with Xerneas, it's not a big deal. I'm also very weak to Salamence if it boosts up enough. So I want to do is activate my eject button immediately. I don't want that thing to lose me the game later versus what looks to be a spec Xerneas. But this is a cool turn for me because I get to bring out my Mega Metagross and honestly just click Meteor Mash. I guess Zen Headbutt also works. That's specs, right? 36% to a max Spadef Amoonguss. That has to be specs. We're gonna actually Zen Headbutt here, as it hits Pokemon like the Arceus or even Groudon a lot harder. And well, Rock Slide ain't boosted by Tough Claws for whatever reason. I mean, I guess it makes sense. I did 50% to a Salamence, so that's a fat Salamence, right? Salamence. Uber Dragon Dance. That's Meteor Mash on regular. Let me put its remote on regular real quick. Yeah, that's like a body slamming Salamence, right? That's like a 2v2, 2v2 type of Salamence if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, that is a 2v2, 2v2 type of Salamence. Alright, so we'll put Mega on that boy. Rock Slide can flinch, I suppose, but I mean, if he's just going to roost here anyway, I might as well go for the Rock Slide flinch. I think he scouted for the Ice Punch there by going out into Groudon, but we got some nice damage off on the Salamence, and we'll make the Druddigon play. I don't want to go hard of Veltal on a potential Eruption. I think if Veltal is going to be kind of important for being able to do some damage. I didn't realize how much time I had gone by on that, but yeah, we're getting Druddigon here, and I think we'll just click Toxic. The Salamence is Roost, more than likely Defog Body Slam because it's max defense. Yeah, not just Toxic here. As he brings out Xerneas. Again, not the biggest of deals. Like, I could see him doubling out into his Salamence there, but I still go Amoonguss and pivot, basically. Like, Moonblast does a ton, man. What the hell? Why is that doing so much damage? I actually feel like I have to Giga Drain here. Yeah, and I Giga Drain because Moonblast was doing way too much damage, man. Like, what's actually going on? Specs is a problem. Still a physically defensive Druddigon, and every bit of damage on Groudon is going to help my Metagross later. Oh, he Dragon Tails me. No. Brings out my own Groudon. Because my endgame involves me winning with a Yveltal, I do think it's worth potentially getting rid of this Mon here. But I'll live up press his Blades. And he might just go Salamence too, because his Groudon is very important. Oh, because the Yveltal endgame is what I'm going for, I think that getting up Rocks is actually going to help my own Mon in the endgames too. So I'll get up Rocks, because again, Salamence also made a lot of sense that turn. And we'll bring on my Arceus form here. Salamence is more than likely going for Roost now. I would go for Roost rather. I wonder if I could actually, instead of growing Arceus Fairy, since Arceus Fairy is useful for Marshadow, and if Arceus Fairy gets paralyzed, that makes it not be able to do its job as much. I'm going to go Druddigon, because if he Roosts, I can at least Dragon Tail him out. I don't think I'd die to a defensive Salamence Body Slam. Maybe a Double Edge would knock me out. In fact, he actually has to go for Double Edge here if he wants to knock me out. And then I can bring out Arceus Fairy after. So that poison on Xerneas is really nice because that Mon is really tough for me to beat 1v1, as you can see by the damage he's been doing. I don't know his Arceus type yet. Because he has Salamence, he's not as weak to something like Groudon. In fact, I'm thinking it's an Arceus type that helps him beat Kyogre, so maybe an Arceus Water or a random Arceus Grass. But we'll just Dragon Tail here as he brings out Necrozma. Ooh, take some chip. Every bit of chip. Don't bring out Xerneas. Hey, thank you for bringing out the Salamence. I appreciate that. And as I said, I do eat that decently well. And we get some nice chip off on Salamence. So we get in Xerneas, which is perfect because I get to bring out my Metagross after he knocks me out. So I'm actually just going to give this to him. I'm going to go for Dragon Tail again as he goes for Aromatherapy. I already know he's choiced. So I'll Glare here on the Necrozma more than likely coming in. Yup. It's Leftovers Necrozma too. I don't know what that means. But I'm getting some Demaglios out right now. Let me get some damage off. And we'll bring out Groudon now, and I think I just click Overheat and get a kill. Granted, he could have Morning Sun back to full, so that does suck for him, but I just click Overheat now, and I claim a KO. Unless the dude reveals Arceus Dragon, of course. Is this Z? Shoot, it could be. I'll Toxic. I have an Arceus Fairy, so I'm really good versus this, and getting a Toxic off means I'll beat him 1v1. And I'm actually going to go Amoonguss here. Because if he goes Salamence, I can Roost or sack Druddigon. Yeah. Seeing as how my Amoonguss, I'm not as worried about Xerneas now. I'm actually going to Spore. Because it's more than likely he'd Roost there. Yep. And we'll bring out Arceus Fairy because Arceus Fairy is the only thing that'll actually force a switch from Salamence. Exactly. And double right out into my Yveltal here on the anticipated Necrozma. So this is like the positioning I want. I want to get Yveltal in a commanding position. I'm just going to click my Z move here. I'm pretty sure I kill anything. He might try and Toxic me now. But if he stays in, I'm going to get rid of this Mon with this Black Hole Eclipse. Go ahead and give that. Absorbed all the way in. Beautiful. And if Xerneas comes out, like I have pivots. So this is like, again, I was trying to play in a position where Yveltal has 0 switch-ins. And the fact that that is Spec Xerneas makes it just a little bit easier for me too. Like, he may even double here, but he doesn't have any. This is why I valued Rocks that turn versus Groudon, because look how I'm limiting his switch-ins. And I just Spore now, so. Like, what's your game plan versus Spore? Maybe Groudon want to come out or Marshadow? I'll let him take me. I don't know how I was supposed to do anything different. Like, so it's Life Orb there. Okay. 0 Arceus Fairy switching. This is a commanding position for me. I mean, he does have 1, which is the Groudon, granted. But it's still, it's like very similar. Like, if he attacks me here, I kill him. And I'm still great versus Xerneas because I have Amoonguss. I have my Mega Metagross as well, which is really good, especially with Rocks up. Mega Metagross actually beats the majority of his team with Rocks up. I would say that Groudon is pretty expendable here. But I mean, hey, if I'm randomly faster, then I'll get a KO. Yeah, I think you were expendable. Yveltal just to weaken you with Dark Pulse. I don't know if Xerneas takes Dark Pulse and a Sucker Punch, and this thing... Do you not have any accurate moves? Anyway, Arceus, this Arceus might just win the game anyway. But Mega Metagross in the back. The fact that Xerneas actually boosts my own ability, my own judgment here is great. But this should be a win for me, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I think this is a win for me. As he goes, Arceus Dragon. Not sure why. If you were not faster, I literally win the game. You have not burnt any turns with Salamence, and I just win the game with Mega Metagross in the back. Like, just pressuring him. So, it's like... I know this was a longer game, but I basically made it so Mega Metagross wins the game. Because all I gotta do is BP Xerneas. If I don't kill Xerneas right now, all I gotta do is BP Xerneas, and then I BP Salamence twice, because Salamence has not burnt a turn of sleep at all. So it's a win right here. Druddigon was actually better here than Zygarde. Just because Zygarde would have had rest in its move pool. That's literally it. I think that's the difference. Zygarde would run rest in this type of move pool, whereas Druddigon is like, yeah, I can't rest in anything on Ubers. I'm just gonna do this. But yeah, a big. That's why I did, like I said, value rocks earlier, because I knew that I'd be forcing a lot of switches between Metagross, Yveltal, and Arceus Fairy, considering Arceus Fairy had two main switch-ins on the team. Arceus Dragon makes sense because you are weaker to the Kyogre, so I mean, that's another mon, I guess. I thought Water made a little bit more sense, but... Especially because of your weakness to Necrozma as well. Bro, you're gonna die. Yeah. His own ability boosting mine, so... Yep, bye. What he had to do was sack Groudon, then go his Arceus Dragon, which couldn't even beat me. And basically he lost Arceus Fairy anyway, but good game. The Z move was key. And yeah, the rocks were super big, and obviously the Metagross being able to pressure. But yeah, I don't think Zen Headbutt is necessary. I'm just going to put Earthquake there so I can do a little bit of damage. It probably doesn't do much to Necrozma, but at least being able to chip away at Groudon with a 100% accurate move is really nice. Ice Punch is another set I like. I may actually look at what Smogon. I know they don't have the same EV spread. They have like an 80 HP EV spread or something like that. Mega Metagross. God, this is... What? Why would I... What's the point of even trying to snipe Pokemon if you can't kill them with this 56 attack investment? Prevents Ho from easily shutting it down by allowing Mega Metagross to OHKO it after Stealth Rock damage. That Ho has to be at 50% for me to kill with a 4 times effective move. I wonder what happens if I run max attack on this Pokemon. Anyway. Yveltal is going to be key here for dealing with Mewtwo. I'm really Mewtwo weak. They are super Druddigon weak though, like just as a lead. I like it. Now they could drop a Draco immediately. Otherwise, I'm going to make the. They're gonna get up rocks for me, by the way. But I'm gonna make the Arceus Fairy play. Dragon Ascent makes sense too, but if they are mixed, they'll go for Draco or Choice Band Outrage. Yeah, if they're mixed, they'll go for Draco here. I can use my Amoonguss once just to pivot. Ooh, really nice. Well, Magico initially just to see them get up Stealth Rock for me, exactly. And then I'll go Druddigon, because Druddigon's main role is to get it on Groudon after all. But this is cool because I get off a Toxicure, potentially Xerneas, or Groudon going for Roar, I guess. Nice, and I go right back out to Druddigon. We're weakening this thing for my Mega Metagross. Mega Metagross has very limited switch-ins on this team. Can you not get the same mon over and over? That'd be great. Like, my Arceus Fairy is important for these two Pokemon in the back. So you get an Arceus Steel. Alright, we're going to Glare here. So now you're no longer a threat. You're faster than me, though. That's a given. But, yeah, my Earthquake is going to be really key as well. My Groudon getting to come in as well is really nice. Like, I get to bring out Groudon here, and I still have Arceus Fairy for Rayquaza. Sick. So I'm assuming Rayquaza would want to come out, but I get up my rocks. That's in range of Mega Metagross. You are to a KO by everything Mega Metagross can go for. And I can just go Druddigon now because I'm physically defensive, so he can't KO me without Dragon Dancing and using a Z move. And if he uses Z move on me, he can't KO Arceus Fairy. This is not going to kill. Wow, that is Life Orb, right? Yeah, that had to be Life Orb. I'm about to say. Yo, I might die here. Hold on. I didn't even think about Dragon Dance Life Orb. Even as I'm putting it in, I'm just scared. 85 to whatever. Now, do I go a Veltal and Sucker Punch, or... I don't want to have to do this because he can also E-speed me. Okay. I'm very grateful that my dude switched there because he obviously feared me to be Choice Scarf and go for Foul Play. We can taunt relatively safely, and now we can bring out Mega Metagross right now and just have a nice commanding position. Oh, that's the most commanding position I could ask for there. Like literally, quite literally the most commanding position. Because I don't even have to bother predicting here. I was going to go for Earthquake, but I don't think I had to because Meteor Mash can do a lot. Oh, that is absolutely not a lot. Absolutely not a lot. I already have Rocks up. You go for Rocks yourself. Yeah, my Mega Metagross is way too important for me to risk it here. So we'll just go with Veltal. I could have knocked him out with a Z, by the way. We're going to taunt. That way he can't get up Rocks. As he goes for Fire Punch, that's fine. And we're just Oblivion Wing here. Again, that Rayquaza probably would have beat me down if my opponent wasn't a smart player and feared me going for... What? What? Okay, what? So the only reason I didn't Sucker Punch is because that was literally the only set that could actually beat me was Mega Mewtwo X. If I Sucker Punch, they died. Okay, well, that's fine. It's not fine, but you know, it is what it is. I'm just gonna press his blades here to try and put you in range of my Metagross. Or to kill you, I guess that works too. Alright. Well, I mean, like, Veltal was literally there for Mega Mewtwo Y, and at this point, Metagross Earthquakes you, Meteor Mashes you. Marshadow, I still have you in the back as well. So provided I connect this Overheat, we're good. Nice, and I have BP in the back as well. I just spam press his Blaze, that way he can't go Marshadow on me. Because Metagross wins, and I have BP as well, so... like, even if he wants to Dragon Dance out the +6... I can see that he's trying to get in Marshadow on me. But I'm pretty sure even if Marshadow bulks up, I'm good. Okay, I'm going to sack Amoonguss here. As he decides to eject button me. Right out into Metagross, which I still don't think I'm not sure if this allows, it does force Marshadow in, but he would have to Z me, right? Would he Z now? Because I can win the game if he doesn't Z now. I can lose it if he does, though. I'm Meteor Mash. I won't die to this. Yeah. Hey, big boy, get some damage off. That's what I like to see. Alright, so we're gonna sack my Groudon to the Shadow Sneak. I get an Arceus. I click Judgment. He's probably going to try and go Arceus Steel. If he gets in Xerneas to attempt to Geo... He just choked. Hard choked. Oh my gosh. Bro, y'all really underestimate your own ability here. Yeah, like what? I'm gonna go hard Arceus. I might just choke myself by doing this, but he's gonna recover first anyway, yeah. This is why Earthquake is key. Hey, shout out to Mega Metagross. I don't know if Judgment killed me at 27%. If it did, then... Basically, the reason I made this play... Okay, let me make sure it didn't. Because if it did, then I might have... I don't think I did, though. Bro, what? Get that out of here. Timid, 0 special attack. Judgment. Steel Plate. Mind Plate. Stick Plate. Metal Plate. Yeah, man, how many things are there? Iron Plate. Okay, I'm about to say, how many synonyms of this word are there? There's no way this killed. Yeah, man, yeah, I was in my... So that was literally my best play. Because, had he Judgmented, I had a high chance to live. And if he recovered, I could still 2 KO him. So, we take those. His last move was Judgment. There's no way it was Will-O-Wisp. And then Marshadow dies. So, yeah, definitely Earthquake is the way to do it here. So that was 100% the play. And I'm glad I made an Earthquake over Zen Headbutt. I mean, Zen Headbutt is good for like something like Toxapex, but hey, yeah, like I don't know why you went hard Xerneas, because I always went hard Metagross there. I had a gut feeling, you know, that I lived that, but nice. Alright, so we got another dub with Mega Metagross. Cool, cool, cool. This team has been really fun. The eject button Amoonguss has been interesting. I literally didn't want Groudon in because Marshadow could bulk up on me, but I guess it didn't really make a difference. And I had to go Arceus Fairy there. Actually, should have went Arceus Fairy, I think, instead of, what's it called? Maybe instead of Metagross. It is going to be a tough game. Celesteela is a problem. A huge problem. Let's see if I can get really cheeky. Yo, I don't know how I beat you. You're gonna be like you're my breaker, right? Like you are my breaker. Let's see if, because Groudon's so good versus me, and so is a Veltal. We're just gonna Judgment initially. Now, the best thing Celesteela does in Ubers is like Heavy Slam Leech Seed. So I'm going to Judgment here. We'll find out if it's Scarf or not. Turn 1. And if they're crazy and they stay in, they're going to take 1,000,000 damage. So we do find out that the Yveltal is Choice Scarf. That's going to be good information for later. That means Marshadow is going to be important. Groudon is going to come out more than likely to get up rocks and or too toxic. On Magic Coat, I don't think Eruption would come out here. Let's see. As they go for Presses Blades, it's fine. I figured a Yveltal would be my pivot, so I'm surprised they made that play. But hey, I'm super weak to this Mon, if we're being real. Yeah, okay, goodbye Druddigon. You deserve a good rest. Gone. I literally have to click my Z move too. I have to click my Z move here. I'm pretty sure it's a 2,000,000 base power move. Like, getting rid of Groudon is great. I don't know if we deal with rocks this game, but I mean, Druddigon is literally only there for Groudon, so fantastic. Even if I was a foul play set, I'm surprised they stayed in. But I was in a situation where I couldn't click anything. But yeah, my Arceus Fairy is still healthy, and things aren't looking terrible. They're not. They are not. I still have Taunt for the Celesteela. I don't have Roost on this set, though, so Zern comes out. I get to bring out Amoonguss and Spore something. And very little doubles my opponent has that can actually beat me down as well, which is pretty cool. I mean, if they Geomancy and then they hit my Amoonguss, I'm going to be forced down to Metagross. Bro, you don't even kill me. I'm just going to Spore. If they U-turn, a Eject Button's going to activate, and I get to bring out Groudon, and I have a commanding position with Groudon. Like, I can just click Overheat on something coming in. So, I stay in here. I Eject Button out. And, yeah, what is your pivot into this beast? I'm clicking Overheat. It's probably going to be a support Arceus of sorts, but I hope it's Celesteela. I hope it's Celesteela, you know. I really hope it's Celesteela. If I don't have to deal with that Mon, we good. But this is like, you attack where your opponent can't defend, right? I don't know enough information about my opponent's team. I don't know their Arceus type. And why would I not click an Intense Sun boosted Overheat right now? Metagross is still going to be key for potentially checking Gengar, especially because I'm probably going to have to end up foul playing it with my Amoonguss to put it in Bullet Punch range. Also still checking Xerneas as they go out to support Arceus right there. Lovely. I guess they're going off my miss. Alright, so we get rid of E-Killer as well. Beautiful. And they still don't threaten my Groudon, by the way. I just want to keep that. I just want to make sure everybody knows that. Because I know that. I want to make sure y'all know that, you know. I'm going to pivot once into Amoonguss just to see how they play around this turn. No. Night. Oh, this is amazing because, once again, like I said, they don't switch into Groudon. They do not switch into Groudon. Ooh, and I get to keep regenerating it back. My boy Groudon's in. Like, I would go for rocks because that might make the... Because I can still lose to Gengar. Don't get me wrong. I can still lose to Gengar. A well-played Gengar can beat me down. but I guess a better played pokeaimMD can win the game immediately. All right, cool. So that was great. Definitely, that's one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of Magicoat. That specific example right there. Groudon being able to just Swords Dance up in my face. Definitely can be a problem. But the way this endgame would have went out, especially with Celesteela, and Celesteela, the Uber set is Leech Seed, Protect, Toxic, Heavy Slam. It's basically designed to even 1v1 Ho-Ohs if necessary. Sometimes it could be sub-seed as well, which probably would have been even more annoying. But yeah, that second like be Ho-Oh 1v1 just because of how thick it is, right? It's like physically defensive too, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me because Geomancy Xerneas at +2. At +2 Geomancy Xerneas, like Oko's with Thunder if it's physically defensive. So I don't know. Maybe the plan is to dodge. Then again, this dude had multiple Xerneas checks. Gengar, Groudon doesn't let it set up. E-Killer can chip away at it. Their own Xerneas does damage. It can't Heavy Slam in front of this. It literally has to be a Veltal. And I mean, the way this team would be played, I'm pretty sure the guy would keep pivoting out, right? Every single time. I'm pretty sure the guy would keep pivoting out. But this weekend, very busy, so I don't have time to continue this live. I do hope you guys all enjoyed though. Mega Metagross, still really fun. I like this team a lot though, being able to pivot around into Mega Metagross, and I think that's one of the issues that Mega Metagross has, right? It can't, and again, it's the same issue that it had in 6th Gen, but now it's different because it has the auto speed boost. But in 6th Gen, it was tough to get in Mega Metagross because it didn't have the auto speed boost, so typically you had to take a heavy hit before doing that. Eject Button Amoonguss is really nice at doing that because you just bring it in on Xerneas, you take the Moonblast, you get a Mega Metagross, and who in their right mind is staying in versus a Mega Metagross with a Xerneas? And even if they do, they're just going to die to Meteor Mash anyway. But yeah, Mega Metagross definitely missed it in the tier itself in OU, but I do think that it'd be a little bit too much, even with like the onslaught of physically defensive Zapdos. And, you know, there's still Kartanas in the tier 2, which Mega Metagross doesn't necessarily deal with. I mean, remember, even in tournament times, some people were running Grass Knot, HP Fire. Well, Grass Knot's boosted by Tough Claw, so it makes a lot more sense. But they were running like Grass Knot, HP Fire, Mega Metagross, and HP Fire allowed you to 2-hit KO Scizor. So that mod may be a bit too much for the OU tier. But we are going to miss you, though. I think it's one of my... They basically buffed them on that was already super good, right? They buffed them on that was already super good, and they made it even better. They literally made it even better. My hope, though, and this is maybe I could have found a battle. Nah, there's no way I would have finished a battle in like 2 minutes, so no, I can't find a battle. My hope for oh, what am I? This is my road to top 10 account. Sorry, I just want to see. Jensen viewers 57 and 6, not bad at all. 91.2 GXE, not bad. My hope for Metagross in the return to, or if it does return, I don't know if it's already been shown, but for the Galar region, Gen 8, forgot what the hell we were doing, for Sword and Shield, is that, you know, it returns to like a prime beast, right? Right now it's an RU, which is crazy. If you would tell me in Gen 4, or Gen 3 even, yeah, one of the best Pokemon in the tier is going to fall down to the RU tier, I would have been like, what the hell is RU? that didn't even exist back then, right? But yeah, I do. That's one of the reasons why. Like, I hope that with the exclusion of some Pokemon, Mons that otherwise were overshadowed because of the increase of, because of the power creep, because of the fact that these Pokemon are very common, right? I can't use, I'll use Mega Alakazam as an example, but it's a bad example. There was a point in Gen 6 where Mega Alakazam was not very good because of the onslaught of T-Tars, Talonflames, Scarf Landos, and it's crazy because Mega Alakazam beats that. Metagross and like a few things were super common, right? To the point where it wasn't. But there's also time in Gen 6 where Mega Altaria was one of the top Megas in the game, and it's not that, you know, the Pokemon allowed in the tier changed. No, it's not necessarily that. I don't think there were any real bans that made a difference for Mega Altaria. It was more so that just, you know, metagame shifts and trends, not shifts, but metagame trends just, you know, came up from like tournaments or on the ladder even, and oh, right, the rise of Mega Alakazam, you have no switch into this beast. Oh, you have a regenerated Torn. Oh, you have a Clefable. Let me just 2-hit KO you with my Psychic type of thing. So, yeah, I do hope you guys all enjoyed. Definitely gonna miss Mega Metagross, and I do hope that, as I mentioned, Metagross itself is, sorry for like talking, like I said, there's like 4 minutes, I want to hit the 30-minute mark, but also, that's just like a personal thing for me that has nothing to do with the video, like it doesn't really matter for me, but I also don't think I would have, based on the way these games have been going, they were really good games, I hope you guys enjoyed them, leave a like if you did, of course, but If Metagross comes back and it's a threat, I'll be happy. As you can see, the background is my favorite DVP OU team ever, which has a lead Metagross, a Scarf Infernape. Where's the... Okay. It has a Life Orb Gengar, a T-Tar, a Kingdra, and there's a Jirachi here that's missing somewhere. 1, 2... Am I blind? Yeah, the Jirachi's right there. I'm blind. The Jirachi's being blocked by... The Jirachi is being blocked by Team Preview. But yeah, that's my favorite DVOE team ever, so I would love to see that mod come back. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if you did enjoy. I believe Jamba would also be having up an Uber's Live today, so that would be pretty cool. So, and if you guys like listening to this, well, thanks for listening to me talk. Goodbye, my friends.